So good morning. Let's check the audio. So good morning. So today we are going to see about deep learning with Tensor and Keras application. Okay, audio is fine. So good morning, Anurag. So here the sponsor college, Muthurangam Government Arts College. It's organized by PG and Research Department of Computer Science in association with Pantech e-learning. Okay, so today we are going to see about webinar on deep learning with Tensor and Keras application approach. How it's working, okay? How the Keras will be used for deep learning approach, and then how we can manage. So the pattern, the professor S. Marimuthu. And then convener, Professor I. and Regina, and organized secretary Dr. A. M. Saravanan. So let's be enter into the session. So deep learning with Tensor and Keras application. So before that we are going, I am like to introduce myself. Let's 1 second. Sorry for this. Okay, so about currently I am working on research and software development of engineer Pantech solution. I am Kamlesh. I am from Pantech solution. I am working in a project like data scientist and machine learning and deep learning. Okay, so if you want to contact any further more details, you can contact me on hod.java@pantechmail.com. And so this is the goal of today webinar. Just to introduction given to the given introduction to Keras, and then you will learn about Keras. I am sure in this webinar you will learn about what is Keras and what are the techniques available in Keras. Okay, so I am guarantee about this, and this is the agenda. So agenda is nothing but overview of Keras and introduction to Keras and TensorFlow, introduction to deep learning algorithms, and then Keras in depth. Okay, and then this is the overview. Next, the starting generally here. So let's enter into the session. Okay, so generally, what is neural network? Okay, so neural network is nothing but they consisting of more number of neurons. Okay, more number of neurons means as a human being we need to do some action. We need to the neurons will be stimulated in your body, and then those action will be happen. Okay, so like that same thing only, even that deep neural network also using. Okay, so we are training the neural network neurons, and then based on that neurons we are predicting the output. Okay, so don't need any features. Okay, so compared to it's a neural network or a non-linear machine learning models. Okay, so non-linear machine learning model means it will be based on linear type only, it will be predict the output, that is supervised or unsupervised learning. Okay, so we can use supervised learning, like supervised learning is nothing but training and testing and data with the output. Okay, uh, training and testing and data with output. And then unsupervised learning is without any data set. Okay, so this is what generally. And then here you can see what is non-linear and linear types. Okay, so everyone will know about the relationship between non-linear and linear. Okay, so this is the thing, E is equal to sigma of and E, and then like this. Okay, so this is the thing. And then we enter to the deep learning. Okay, so what is deep learning? Deep learning is refers to the training of neurons. Okay, training of multiple neurons on multiple layers. Okay, so here you can see in the right side of the picture, input layer and then output layer. Okay, so we have input layer and output layer. Between these we have two hidden layers. Okay, so this is a simple neural network. Okay, if you take an convolution neural network or recurrent neural network, it will be take more number of hidden layers. Okay, it's a simple neural network, simple. So it will be connected with fully connected layer. Fully connected layer is nothing but after the input layer, each input will be passed into the each hidden layer. Okay, so I have a 3 input layer and I have an hidden layer is 4. So each first input layer will be connected with each hidden layers. Okay, that is called fully connected layer. Each data, that is each arrow will have some unique weight. Okay, unique weight. Based on that unique weight only it will be give the output. Okay, so that is called deep learning, refers to the training neural net with a multiple layers. Okay, so they are more powerful, but only if you have a lot of data to train them. Okay, so they are more powerful, but only if the data have we need more data. Okay, so Keras is used to create the neural network. So that is what here in today's session we are going to see about what is Keras. Okay, so if you want to train on neural network algorithm, okay, so we need to build a neurons, that is input layer, hidden layer and output layer. So to build the neurons we need some API. That API is called a Keras. Okay, so Keras is used to create a neural network model. Okay, that's build a Keras network. Okay, so next thing, what is the difference between machine learning and deep learning? Okay, so machine learning, to train the machine learning algorithm we need to use some feature extraction. Okay, after feature extraction only we need to do some classification and we can predict the output. But in deep learning we can directly give the we can directly give the data. Okay, so based on that data it will be give the feature extraction plus classification. Okay, so that is the one of the main advantage of deep learning. Okay, so deep learning tools we can use it like by MATLAB. So if you use MATLAB means we need to use C++ language, and Python we can use directly Python ideally, or PyCharm. Okay, so these are the IDE you can use any deep learning algorithm. Okay, and then package used for deep learning, here you can see PyTorch, TensorFlow, Keras, AlexNet, OpenCV, okay, OpenMinnow. So these are the packages we can use it to deep learning purpose. Okay, so the most famous one is Keras and TensorFlow. Okay, why it's famous one I will tell you. So introduction to Keras and TensorFlow. So Keras is nothing but it's a Python package. Okay, so it used to build a neural network algorithm. Okay, so how it will be build the neural network algorithm means with the back end of TensorFlow. Okay, so TensorFlow is nothing but it's an one type of library files built by Google. Okay, so Google is the Google is produced by Google is created and introduced in TensorFlow, So using those TensorFlow, Keras will be act as a API. Okay, so using this Keras and TensorFlow, we are creating a neural network algorithms. Okay, so here we can see what is Keras. So Keras is nothing but neural network library written in Python. Okay, so it's a neural network library written in Python. Okay, so it's designed to use it to implement an straightforward of neurons. Okay, so for example, you need to create a convolution neural network algorithm, means we need to use some input layer, some output layer, and some hidden layer, that is convolution layer. Okay, based on that only uh, we need to build a convolution neural network. Okay, so for that purpose we need to use build some API. So for that purpose we are using Keras. Okay, so it is easy and straightforward. Okay, we can build easily. Okay, and then build on top of the different deep learning libraries such as a TensorFlow and Thenon. Okay, so this is the thing what is Keras. Okay, then why we are using Keras is it is easy to implement. It is simple and highly modular, and then deep informed to build a model. Okay, so it's a highly model and it's easy to build a model. Okay, so that's why it's Keras is a most trending one library file when compared to any other library package. Okay, so to build a neural network or deep learning algorithm, not only Keras is there, we have more number of multiple number of packages will be there. Okay, so like PyTorch or CNTK. Okay, some packages will be available, but compared to all these packages, this one is easy to implement and most efficiency one also. Okay, so that's why we are using, that's why the Keras is a popular one. Okay, so this is the Keras architecture. You can see here I am having a API. Okay, I am installing a Keras in Keras package. After I am installing a Keras package using TensorFlow as a Keras or Theano as a Keras. Okay, so like that I will use some other packages as a backend, and then I will build a neural network algorithm. Okay, but Keras is the most important one to build a neural network algorithm. Okay, so here you can see the trend. So this is the trend according to 2019. Okay, this is the graph of 2019. Okay, TensorFlow and Keras is the most famous one when we compare to PyTorch or FastAI. Okay, so PyTorch and FastAI is nothing but it's also like a Keras only to build a neural network algorithm. Okay, but this is the two framework they are in. We are using most famous one compared to PyTorch and FastAI. Okay, so this is the trend map according to 2019. Okay, so you can see the map. Okay, so when to use Keras. Okay, so we will get on to the point why we are using Keras. Okay, so when we want to use the Keras. Okay, so if you are a beginner, okay, interested in implementing some ideas as a deep learning algorithm, you can use Keras. Okay, why? Because it's easy to implement and easy to learn. Okay, so that's why I told you can use Keras package. Okay, so if you want to do fundamental research in deep learning, you can use for deep learning algorithm like what is that, CNN or RNN or simple neural network or artificial neural network. Okay, you need to build up on some research purpose, you need to build some deep learning algorithms, you can use Keras. Okay, so here you can see Python plus Keras, super fast implementation, good extendability. Okay, so Python plus Keras is the most implementation is good and extensibility also, and Python plus TensorFlow or PyTorch excellent extensibility. Okay, this is the basic difference. Okay, Python plus TensorFlow or PyTorch just an excellent extensibility only, but it's a super fast implementation and good extensibility. Okay, so this is the use of Keras. Okay, so here one of the just simple thing, what is deep learning. Okay, so if you tell to the any other person like in society, they will think like this. Okay, if you are tell to your friend, okay, they will think like, okay, this guy is more like that. Then what other computer scientists will think what is deep learning. Okay, and then they have more they will earn more number of amount like that. So this is just a uh, talk purpose only, not a technical way. So okay, what is mathematic will be understand. Okay, so if you are working under deep learning or a machine learning, so they will think like this, but what we actually do, just importing a package. Okay, so it's just importing a package from Python library, like import keras, or from keras import an neural network algorithm or deep learning algorithm. Okay, so that is what we are doing here, but they will think like that. Okay, so this is just fun purpose. Okay, then next we entered into the keras. So keras is open source neural network library and capable for running a TensorFlow and designed to enable the fast experiment. So this and all we already know. Okay, so this is the graph represent why it's most famous. Okay, so between high level and low level API, training API, it's most customized one and functional one. Okay, when we compare to the sequential model, it's easy to implement and build that thing. Okay, so next one, TensorFlow, because till now we seen about Keras only, but TensorFlow also one of the important library fit. Okay, this is invented by Google. Okay, so TensorFlow is nothing but it's a multi-dimensional array object. Okay, so if you are giving any data or any type of data, means it will be showed as a multi-dimensional array object, and it's very fast to use in computational graph and very fast. Okay, so it's used by C++ only, it's built by using C++ only, so it's most efficiency one, and you can use TensorFlow as a CPU or GPU. Okay, CPU is nothing but you need to install as a CPU TensorFlow, or GPU is nothing but you need to install on graphics card of the Tensor. Okay, so we can totally, you can run it as a both according to your laptop configuration, which one is better. Okay, CPU usage is better or GPU usage is better, you can see then, and then you can build it. Okay, so how you can install it, I will tell you. Okay, so the installation procedure totally, we have like Anaconda Navigator. Okay, so this is the software you need to build any machine learning or deep learning. You can use this software for Windows purpose. It's available for both Mac and Linux, Ubuntu also. Okay, so in that website. Okay, so responded website at anaconda.org, and then you can use online notebooks also. So here you have online notebooks, like if you search in Google like this, I will show you. Wait a minute. So this is, I tell you guys about three platforms. Okay, you can use TensorFlow or Keras. Okay, three IDE. Okay, you can see here. So I am searching Google Notebook Python. Okay, after I am searching here, I will get the options here, notebook. Okay, so if you click this, I will enter into the new that is a new page. Okay, in this new page you can see here. So this is my Google Colab. Okay, so using these you can create and you can import a TensorFlow, or you can import Keras. Okay, you can import Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib. What are the things you want to use, you can use it. Okay, so like import Pandas as PD. Okay, so like this you can import, and you just click this button, means it will be run and then give the output. Okay, so like this you can do with Google Colab. Okay, like this, whatever you need to import, you can directly run it through online of your code, and then you can directly check. So this is the one way of installation about notebook. Okay, so another way, you can use Kaggle website. Okay, so in Kaggle if you move on to the Kaggle notebooks. Okay, so Kaggle will also give the online notebooks, that is interactive Python notebook. You can use that, and you can create a new Python they will ask the Python or version, so you can use this and create button. If you will create buttons, it will be create an notebook. So using these notebooks also you can build a neural network algorithm. Okay, wait a minute, it's still loading. Here I am using import in Google Colab. I am using Keras. Okay, using TensorFlow as a backend. Okay, so Keras is imported and using TensorFlow as a backend. Okay, so you don't need to even download the Keras package. If you are using online, it's automatically imported. Okay, we don't need to waste our data. Okay, like same thing only we can do for here also, import Keras. Let's we check here, import Keras. So if I run the shell, so automatically using TensorFlow backend it came. Okay, so like this you can do. Okay, but we don't have all the time data connection. Okay, so that is, we don't have always internet connection. So if you want to install these notebooks in your Anaconda Navigator, you can, sorry, in your PC you can use the software Anaconda Navigator. Okay, so this is the Anaconda Navigator. If you click the button launch, Jupyter Notebook will be launched. Otherwise you can use Jupyter Lab also, like same thing what we are seeing here, like same thing, it will be IPMB file will be here. Okay, so you can add the cell and run the cell. Okay, so this is the way you can install the Jupyter Notebook. And if you are new to Anaconda Navigator, you need to install the packages. Okay, because Keras, we need to download the Keras. Okay, so for that purpose you need to use pip install Keras, because now only we installed the Anaconda Navigator. In that, Keras will be not available. We need to download the Keras package through online, so we need internet connection during this command. Okay, so you need to use this command and click enter button. It will be install the Keras package. Okay, so like that we need to install TensorFlow. Okay, so what are the package error? If you are getting an error during running time like no module name found, okay, you need to find that what is the module name, and you need to use this command. You need to install the package. Okay, so this is the just an information to how to install the packages in Anaconda Navigator. Otherwise you can use directly online notebooks. Okay, so this is the installation procedure. Next we enter into the session, how to design the neural networks. Okay, so we can design the neural network like first we need to prepare some input data. Okay, so like data sets, like CSV format or picture format or audio or video. Okay, any type of inputs. Okay, then create a layer. Okay, that is handle the input layer. Okay, input layer means just you need to pass your data to the input layer. Then after that we need to create some output target layer, and then between these you need to build the model. Okay, so this is the general design you need to use, and then this is the general steps. Okay, you need to, if you are using Keras, this is the general step, that preparing a data set. Okay, so like preparing data set is nothing but we need to converting an categorical value into the zeros and ones, or object value into the zeros and ones, or parse the data, or index variabling, and then splitting the data set into train and test. Okay, these are the preparing a data set. Then adding a layer. Okay, so we need to use some of the layer like activation layer or some other different type of layers are available. Okay, we need to find a weight of the function. Okay, and then compiling and fit. Compiling and fit is nothing but we need to train the model, so using for that purpose we need to use fit function. Okay, after fit function we are move on to test the model. For that purpose we need to evaluate evaluate and predict the data. Okay, so this is the thing we are using for Keras steps. Okay, and then introduction to deep learning algorithm. Okay, so let me see about what are the deep learning algorithms will be available in our in Keras package, and then let me enter into the in-depth of Keras, okay, because it's an important topic about Keras, in-depth of Keras, okay. So here I am using some about working of neural network, you already know. So the just again for recap, that is input layer x1, x2, x3, and then hidden layers and output layers. So here you can see what is ANN, okay. So you can learn to perform a task by observing examples, okay. So this is one of the algorithm, basic algorithm, artificial neural network in deep learning, okay. So you can use this algorithm like input layer, hidden layer and output layer, okay. So application of artificial neural network is like OpenCV, computer vision. Computer vision is nothing but if you want to train an image, or if you want to train a video type of input data, you want to use computer vision package, and then speech recognition, and then machine translation and social network analysis, like sentimental analysis, something is there, and then filtering, and then medical diagnosis, playing boards and video games, okay. So this is some of the application of ANN. And then next, deep neural network. So deep neural network, the difference between deep neural network and then artificial neural network is nothing but hidden layer is more, okay. So if you are taken artificial neural network, the hidden layer is only 1 or 2, but if you take an deep neural network, the hidden layer will be a more and more, okay. So you can see here hidden layer will be 1, 2, 3, and then after that we will be enter into the fully connected layer, and after fully connected layer we will check for vectorizer, okay, and then flattening, and then we will predict the output, okay. So this is the structure of deep neural network, okay. So here deep neural network usually feed forward network, so name is suggests there, and then this the means data from the input layer flows to the output layer without any looping back, okay. That is called feed forward network, okay. So neural network have some of the hidden layers, also called as a shallow feed forward neural network. So the number of hidden layers could 1,000 or more than the 1,000, okay. So that is the use of deep neural network. And then deep neural network creates the virtual neurons, okay. So randomly it will be created virtual neurons, and it will be collect the sum of the weight of the input data, okay. So based on that weight only it will be predict the output, okay. How we can calculate the weight means using some activation function, okay. So about activation function I will tell you, and then multiple weights, based on that multiple weights it will be predict the zeros or 1, but it failed recognize the pattern, and it uses algorithm is weight, okay. Then types of neural network, deep neural network is totally two. One is RNN, another one is CNN, okay. So RNN is full form recurrent neural network, and then convolutional neural network, okay. So this totally we have two types. So recurrent neural network is nothing but it's like an storage. So we have some if in recurrent neural network we have some two different like LSTM by LSTM, like that is LSTM is nothing but long short term memory, okay. So based on the memory, that is previous data and now today's data or current data, okay. So based on that previous, you can see here we have a h and we have a x, that is input data, okay. So those input will be given to the algorithm, that is given to the h, okay. So then based on the weight I will get on output those previous output and my original, that is current output. I will compare those things and I will check the next output, okay. So like that we need to check means we want to use a recurrent neural network. So about recurrent neural network is like a unsegment connected handwrite recognition or speech recognition, okay. So like that area we can use. So we can build an internal memory also using RNN, but like we can't do like this for CNN or any artificial neural network. And then we can find an like graph format or any other cyclic graph, okay. So that is about RNN. So next, convolutional neural network. So if you want a convolutional neural network, they have totally only sampling and convolutional, okay. Sampling is nothing but future mapping, okay. So future mapping is nothing but we need to take some particular convolution data. Okay, so you can see here I am having an image of robot image. In this image I am taking a particular important data. Okay, so that is called convolutional. Using those convolutional function I will take some particular data. In this particular data I will collect some important data, that is called subsampling. After I am taking some subsampling data, that will be passed into the next future map. Okay, so now I will get a new future map. Based on that new future map I will be next take some important data using convolution function. Okay, so like that I will do for 2 times, and then I will use flatten function to flattening all my data into a single vector, and then using fully connected data I will initializing a I will pass into the output neurons. Okay, so this is the architecture of convolutional neural network. Okay, so in convolutional neural network we can sort of deep. It's a sort of deep artificial neural network only. Okay, but it's have a multiple neurons, and then application of convolutional neural like visual imaginary. Okay, like we need, if you want to analyze any like face recognition, and then like that you need to use means like video or anything, your data set in the form of like that digital thing, means you can use convolutional neural network. And computer vision and modeling for automatic speech recognition, and then recommender system, natural language processing. So these are some of the applications we are using. And then let's be enter into the important part, that is Keras in depth. Okay, so it's the most important part, because who are all using for deep learning algorithm Keras. Okay, so it's the most important one. Okay, the most important one means, so this is the area we are covering in today's session, like data representation. Okay, some from starting to ending. Okay, if you are build one project, to build that project, what are the problems will be occur and what are the steps will be occur, we are covering in next we are seeing about next few minutes. Okay, so the first topic is data representation. Okay, that is if you are collecting some data, those data in the form of what type. Okay, you need to find. Okay, so for that purpose I am telling you data representation. In this we have 2 types, and then data representation utils, how we can use this util function also. And then next we will move on to build and model. Okay, so to build the model, as usual, same thing, we are using sequential model. Is one of the best model. So we are in sequential model. If you declaring a sequential model, next what we will do, okay, that is using API, some of the API class API, we are calling some layers. Okay, so that is what are the layers we are having. Okay, then Keras layers. Okay, then activation function, why we are using activation and what are the use of activation, and then loss function, and then optimizer function. Okay, and then learning rate scheduler. Okay, so after we are doing about this function, let's we see about learning rate scheduler. Okay, learning rate scheduler is nothing but we have 2 types of learning rate scheduler. What are the 2 types of learning rate scheduler, and then what are the uses of learning rate scheduler we will see. And then metrics. Okay, metrics to find the accuracy score or confusion matrix or classification report or anything, we will see about metrics. And then performance of evaluation strategy, and regularizer, and then architecture or weight saving model. Okay, so after regularizer, after we are getting an accuracy result, you need to use some other web application or any Android application or any other application type of oriented. You want to use your algorithm, trained algorithm, means you want to save those algorithm. So how you can save those algorithm, let's we see. And then model visualization. Okay, model visualization is nothing but to plot a graph, like how many counts are there, how many males, how many females will be there. Okay, that is model visualization. And then callbacks, and then Keras plus scikit-learn. Okay, so these are the area, if you are well understood, means you will definitely develop on deep learning projects, or you will understand about deep learning. Okay, so first we will enter into the data representation. So data representation is nothing but it's just an how we have a data. Okay, so how we have a data is like discrete variable, continuous variable, and categorical variable. Okay, so if you are collecting one data set, those data set in the form of only three, okay, like these three types, okay, that is discrete variables, continuous variables, and categorical variable. Okay, so discrete variable is nothing but the data set in the form of, like example, we can take a number of children in a family. Okay, we can easily tell three. Okay, otherwise if you have a data set of heart disease data set or diabetes prediction data set, we can find how many males and how many females in using those reports. Okay, that is called discrete variable. That is numeric variable that have a countable number of values between two values, any two values or three values. Okay, that is called discrete variable. If you enter into the next one, that is continuous variable, that is the numeric variable that have an infinite number of values between any two values. Okay, for example, temperature. Okay, if you take temperature, we can't tell exactly what is the temperature is. Okay, sometimes it will be 25.9 or sometimes it will be 25 26.8. Okay, so better you can simply, you want to understand means discrete variable will be 0 or 1, continuous variable will be an like float value. Okay, so this is just a simple, I'm not mentioning like that float value or integer value, but for your understanding you can use like this also. And then categorical value. Okay, so categorical variable is nothing but you have a set. Okay, and you have a column like gender. Okay, so if we have a gender column, definitely we have gender, we have male or female. Okay, like this we have a categorical variable, means how you need to convert the categorical variable. Okay, so we need to convert those categorical variables, like for example, male is equal to 0 or female is equal to 1. Otherwise, female equal to 0, male equal to 1. We need to convert those column into an discrete variable. Okay, so that is the thing we need to do in categorical variable. Okay, so how you can do categorical variable means we have some of the steps, like although you can use any other method of user preprocessing like Keras, like you can use like two categorical. Okay, so we have one step, that is two categorical, that is converted into one hot encode data. Okay, so that is a one type. Otherwise, text pre-processing like tokenizing or stemming or like that. And then label encoder. Okay, so label encoder function will be available in sklearn package only, scikit-learn package. Scikit-learn is nothing but here the spelling mistake is there, SCIKIT. Okay, so scikit-learn package is nothing but it's mostly used for machine learning purpose. Okay, machine learning purpose, and using those scikit-learn package also you can convert your male and female into a zeros ones. Okay, so that is the data representation of using util. Okay, and then next we enter in the Keras model. Okay, so I already told to you one of the best model to build a neural network algorithm is that is sequential model only. Okay, so sequential model is nothing but it's a stack of layers. Okay, that is stack of layers means what are the layers you are initializing to your algorithm, that will be stored in this model only. Okay, so easily you can import using sequential layer, that is using sequential function here, and then here I am saving my sequential function into a model, and then using that model variable I am adding my all the layers like LSTM layers or dense layer. Okay, LSTM I already told to you, long short term memory. Okay, that is comes under RN and recurrent neural network algorithm. Comes under, it's a two type. In recurrent neural network we have some other types will be there, that is LSTM is one of the type. Okay, so using that we can build a model. Okay, that is the use of sequential model. Okay, so if you see the right side of the model, you can see what is the input step and what is my output. Okay, and then what is my input and what is the output. So this is the use of LSTM, sorry, this is the use of sequential. Okay, so to build any type of algorithm within this sequential, that is called sequential model. Then after that, class API. So here class API is nothing but optimizing all the output in graph. Otherwise, two or more independent network to the diverge or merge. Okay, so you need to merge or diverge, like that you can use. They allow the multiple separate input or output or different merging layers. Okay, so what we are doing here means different merging layer. For example, what is the use of class API in model means you can see here I am importing a layer to the right side. okay, importing the Keras layer, that input layer and dense layer. So I am calling a two layers, okay. So those layer I can define within one single function, that is input A and input B. So for that purpose we need to use some API, okay. That API is nothing but just calling the A and B, okay, that is called API, okay. So that is called Keras model class API. And then Keras layers, okay. So Keras layer is like I already told to you, like we need to define some layers like hidden layers, input layers, and then output layers, okay. So for that purpose we need to define some neurons, okay. For example, if I have an input layer, that is if I have an image 32 into 32 megapixel, okay, you need to give as an input layer 32, okay. That is 32 neurons will be in the column base, okay. So after I am giving into the 32 neurons, it will be all the input data will be passed into the those neurons, okay. So that is the layers, okay. So example of layers is like dense layer. So dense layer is nothing but this is the normal and fully contained layers, okay. About fully contained layers I already told to you, each and every input layer will be connected to the hidden layer with all the type, okay. For example, if I have a x1 input, those x1 input will be connected to all my 32 hidden layers, okay. So that is called fully connected layer. And then convolution layer is mostly applicable for operation of the previous layer, okay. Like I already told to you that with robot image, okay. So first I will take some important image. Using those important image, I will collect some sample images. Using those sample, and again I will take some convolution layer, like that I will do, okay. So pooling layer is used after convolution layer, okay. That is first I will take important layer using convolution layer, and after that pooling layer I will use, and then I will reduce the image size and dropout function. That is dropout function is nothing but to avoid this is used for regularization, okay, to avoid overfitting, okay. So if we have more number of data, algorithm can't understand, okay. So for that overfitting and underfitting we are using dropout layers, okay. Then we have more number of layers also, like noise, pooling, normalizing, embedding, and many more layers are available. About this you can search it in Google, okay. So and then next one, activation layer. So activation layer is one of the favorite layer for me, because it will be find the like weight, based on that weight it will be find the output, okay. So in activation we have totally most famous one is sigmoid, tan, and ReLU, okay. This is one of the most top three famous one. And apart from this we have more number of activation layer like soft plus, hard, sigmoid, linear, okay. So this and all it's now old one, but the most trending one is ReLU, okay. But ReLU activation layer will be applicable only for hidden layers, okay, not for output layer. So if it comes under output layer, we need to use sigmoid or tan, okay. So sigmoid is mostly used to predict the output of, if you have a label 0 or 1 or true or false, you can use as output layer sigmoid. Or if you want to predict the output like loan prediction or some other rent prediction using this out, you can use tan, okay. The advantage of activation layer is after decided neural network. And then activation layer like leaky, ReLU also we have different type of functions will be there. You can see the picture sigmoid, what is sigmoid and what is tan and what is ReLU, okay. And then next one is loss, okay. Loss is the one of the important one in deep learning, because if you are getting a loss function more, loss function score will be a more, okay. You want to train your algorithm again and again, okay. That is you want to iterate the algorithm again and again, because based on the loss function only algorithm will be learned, okay. So loss function is important. Then loss function we have more number of loss function like mean square error, or mean absolute error, or mean absolute percentage error, or binary cross entropy, categorical cross entropy, or mean square error, okay. So these are the most famous one, top three. And then apart from this we are using some other things also, okay. So if you want to convert to the categorical data, you can use like this one also, like loss function, okay. Then next one is optimizer, okay. Optimizer is nothing but uh, we need to do optimize some like one or two arguments required to compiling the Keras model. You need to use optimizer. Okay, so optimizer, you can call it as a name like letter case or default parameters. Okay, so like optimizer, we have some different like Adam optimizer, SGD optimizer. Okay, so it's just to find out the weight and given to the output layer. Okay, like that it will check. So optimizer, you can see SGD, RM, SP, ROP, Adam, okay, and then Aralta, and then Iron Adam. Okay, so these are some of the optimizer we are using. And then next one is learning rate scheduler. Okay, so about learning rate scheduler is nothing but we have two type of learning rate scheduler, like time based learning rate scheduler and drop based learning rate scheduler. Okay, so if you are taking CNN type of algorithm, convolution neural network type of algorithm, we have more number of pixel values and we have more number of neurons. Okay, we need to reduce those neurons using dropping based, means you can use drop based learning rate scheduler. Okay, otherwise time based learning rate schedulers, you need to, we have only a normal, we are using only normal type of neural network algorithms. We need to just check the training the data and testing the data, means you can use time based learning rate scheduler. Okay, so you can see what is timing based learning rate scheduler. That is learning rate equal to learning rate into 1 divided by 1 plus dk plus into epochs. Okay, so epochs is nothing but number of iteration. Okay, so how much it's iterating. Okay, for example, you can see here learning rate for first iteration is 0.1 and then next one 0.9 and then 0.9 like that. Okay, so if you are using initial learning rate value as 0.1 and dk as a 0.001. Okay, so dk is nothing but if you are giving an initial value 0.1, it will be converted to 0.01 and then epoch equal to 5 means 5 time iteration. Okay, that is time based learning. Okay, next one is drop based learning rate. So drop based learning rate is the function to take the epoch index like integer index to form a 0 or return a new learning rate output, that is float. Okay, that is if you have any float type of prediction, you can use learning rate, you can use drop based learning rate. Okay, and then this is the tips for using a learning rate. So how you can use a learning rate. Okay, and where we can use the learning rate and where we can experiment the different schedule. Okay, you can just pause the video and you can read it in just a simple thing only. Okay, how, where tips to using the learning rate. And the next we enter into the metrics. Okay, so metrics is nothing but to find an accuracy result or find a precision value or recall value or f-score value, we can use metrics. Okay, so metrics, in metrics we have different type to find the accuracy score, like cross entropy, the most famous one, like binary accuracy or categorical cross entropy is the, and this is the most famous one. And the optimizer, we already told you what is the optimizer. And then apart from the accuracy score, we can find an F1 score also, recall and precision. Okay, so precision is nothing but how much in originally we have and how much algorithm will be predicted correctly. And recall is nothing but comparison between previous one and now today output one, like we can find an F score also. Okay, so that is the use of metrics. And then performance evaluation strategy. Okay, that is if you are getting a less number of accuracy score, you want to improve the accuracy score, you can use like this evaluation strategy. So for that purpose we have totally 3 evaluation strategy. One is automatic verification dataset, that is automatically I will give the train data and I will give the test data after running time itself. And manual verification dataset means we are giving an input to the algorithm to predict the output. And k-fold cross validation. So k-fold cross validation is one of the important one. Okay, so for example, normally if you are taking a dataset, if you are dividing a train and test bit using scikit-learn package, it will be train data will be 80% and test data will be 20%. Mean it will be divided from the first 80% as a train data and last 20% as a test data. Okay, So within that you want to do any cross validation means I will take a train data. In 80% of train data I will do cross validation. Okay, cross validation is nothing but I will take some of the data, some first 20% of data as a training and next 20% of data as a testing, and after next 20% of training and testing. Okay, so I will do both training and testing within compiling time itself. Okay, so that is the called k-fold cross validation. Okay, let me see about the first onwards, like automatic verification. That is, here you can see I am giving all the data x and y. Generally I am giving all the data with the class and variable and I will train the model. Okay, that is one type, and that is automatic verification. And then manual verification means I will divide the data set into two types, that is train and test splitting. After train and test splitting, I will train the algorithm using train data and I will test the algorithm using test data. Okay, that is manual verification data set. And if you want to do k-fold verification data set means you can do like this also. Okay, like first you will train the model. After training the model, I have separately have test data. Okay, so using that test data, I will check the accuracy result for n number of times. Okay, so I will find them some approximate value accuracy score. That is manual k-fold cross validation. Okay, next one is regularizer. Regularizer is nothing but finding a weight of unbiased value of my input data. Okay, that is regularizing. Okay, so we can use regularizing like regularizer.1.2 or 1.1, like that we can use. So nearly everything the Keras can be regularized to avoid overfitting only. Okay, so dropout function also one of the thing to avoid overfitting, and regularization also we can use for avoid overfitting. Okay, so next one is architecture on weight saving model. That is, if you train one model, you want to save those model. Okay, if it is a machine learning type means you can use model.h file. That is, you can create a hdf5 file, and sorry, you can create, if it is a machine learning you can use pkl file, that pickle .pkl. you can use those model and you can save the model. But if it is an model like Keras, using Keras we are training the model means we can use hd file. Okay, that is h5 file, and you can save it as a model. Okay, why we are saving means you can use it for web application purpose or Android application purpose or any other application oriented you can check. And then model visualization. So visualization you can use like plot model. You can check the how it's working. Okay, how we are implementing a Keras and how we are implementing a hidden layer and how we are implementing a output layer. Okay, so there is a visualization. And then callback. So in callback, that is during training we can use like batch or approach. Okay, so I already told you approach and batch is nothing but just for training. Okay, so batch is nothing but how much time it want to train each iteration. Each iteration is nothing but approach. Okay, so excellent callback like yearly stopping or weight saving after approach. Like if you want to do excellent existing callback like this also. And then easy to build and implement the using fit function. Okay, then callback, and we have another type of callbacks also, like terminate on NaN. That is, if you have any null values in your training data set, it will be automatically terminate. Otherwise, yearly stopping on model checkpoint, reduced LR on plateau. So these are some of the callback examples. Okay, and then Keras and scikit-learn. So why I am using Keras and scikit-learn means I don't want to type even. Generally, if you take a Python oriented language means it's reducing the lines. Okay, 10 times compared to any other program language. Okay, so if you want to reduce even more, okay, if you want to understand easily means you can use scikit-learn package and pipeline. Okay, so pipeline is one of the technique. Okay, we can do within single line, like fit and predict and accuracy score. This and all, if you want to do within single line, you can use pipeline technique. Okay, so pipeline is one of the technique. Using that technique, we can just hyperparameter of given task. Okay, so that is the use of Keras and scikit-learn. Okay, so the challenges of deep learning is nothing but underfitting or overfitting. Okay, so it's a main thing. Underfitting is nothing but you need to use the regularization method to avoid underfitting. If you wanted to avoid overfitting, you need to use a dropout or some other uh, thing you want to do. Okay, so if you want to achieve appropriate fitting, you need to use dropout and regularization randomly, and you can check the output. Okay, so if you have any question about regarding this webinar, you can ask it in your comment box. I will explain you like about installation or where we can learn, or what is the thing you want. What is the question you have? You just ask it in your comment box. I will reply. Okay. So about certificate, each and every time we are posting one link in comment box also, and in description also we have. Just use that description and check it. Okay, and if you have any question about Keras, what is the difference between Keras and TensorFlow? Keras is for to build a neural network algorithm. TensorFlow is used to build a machine learning type of algorithm. So if you are new to this channel, please hit a bell icon. That is, sorry, please click a subscribe button and hit a bell icon. You will be get a notification each and every time. And if you are like this video, please hit a like button. Okay, it will be boost for us to give a video like this even more. If you have any question, please ask it in comment box. I will tell you. Okay, so there is no question. Okay, so if you want to know about deep learning, CNN and neural network algorithm, I already posted some videos in our YouTube channel. You please go and check the YouTube channel. Some videos will be available. You can check it down. And then it's time to thank you all. And if you have any further more details, if you need, you can contact me on java@pantechmail.com. And if you want to know about upcoming event or further more information, you can contact us in WhatsApp. And then even Telegram also we have a channel. You can search it the channel like Pantech e-learning. And then if you want to know about some internship, online internship, or any other like this webinar you want to conduct for your college, you can contact this number like Senthil Kumar, Srinivasan and Kumaraswamy. Okay, they will guide you about internship and webinar also. Okay, so thank you for this wonderful session. Muthurangam Government of Arts and College, and then this program is organized by PG and Research Department of Computer Science. Thanks for this wonderful webinar on deep learning with Tensor and Keras application approach. Okay, so once again I like to thank you about patron, organizer, secretary and convener, and then thank you guys. And today about Keras and TensorFlow, I hope everybody will understood, and we will see on any other next other video. And it's signing off from Kamalesh. Thank you.